Boneyard once again on a Thursday, I believe we are, October 6th. The countdown is on to our big show in fucking the end of this month. But right now, you guys have, we'll get into that in a minute. Please introduce yourselves, and then I have a question right off the bat.
All right. So we are. I'm Kevin, and you're with Olivier too. We're members of the band called Side Mine, a Montreal prog instrumental prog with violin band.
Yes. So, with that being said, the song Winter was the last song I just played before you guys signed in and shit. And that was just grabbed me, man. Like, all your stuff is intermezzo. Normally it's lyrics that carry it through, but that song, the violin with the guitar in the background and the piano, you guys fucking destroyed it. I could not listen to the whole song. You know what I mean? Like, how do you just do instrumental? You know, like
It's because we have
what happened to the singer?
it's easier with a violinist, and we don't have to write lyrics, so it's actually easier than with a singer.
Yeah, we would hate to have to write lyrics, so we're better off instrumental. But thanks for the comments about Winter.
I hear you. I can't.
We feel that it's also a fan favorite, that one.
that that song got me right away, man. Like,
Did you
I heard it right.
you recognize the melody from Vivaldi?
Yeah, we
I,
we really had
a little
no
bit.
credit on that one because somebody else wrote it.
I was wondering because it's like it sounded so familiar. I'm like, but I didn't put two and two together, thinking, oh fuck, these guys do a cover song because you guys with no singer, just be an instrument. There's not a lot of cover to actually do. You know what I mean? Although
Yeah,
you could do all the covers on the same hand, just without, Apocalyptica is a very good example of a band that is almost other than a guest singers that come on like Corey Taylor, a guy from 3 Days
yeah. When we were younger,
and all that shit, they did an album.
when we were a younger band, we used to cover some, and actually the violin would play what the singer does. So that's how we managed to cover songs.
Yeah. Oh, Dream Theater are a fantastic band. One that never gets mentioned either. Actually, the other night I think I was talking with Victoria Knight, and we got into like her playlist, and I'm like, I know that song, I know that band. Most people don't listen to that shit though, right?
It's the most famous underground band, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's definitely right up there. I'd say Machine Head's definitely on the list. When I seen them play, still to this day, I really had radio play, especially in North, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, it's too
You
bad.
guys are Kevin?
It's too bad for the genre.
Kind of, but not. Because really, you don't want everybody in this group because the group that we have in our metal group is amazing. Like, everyone's just fantastic. If everyone listened to it, you'd get all the assholes and fucking idiots and stuff listening to it too. You can have their music, you know what I mean? So when you guys do from the
Sorry, I didn't get it.
oh sorry, my internet's kind of storming and stuff. They're calling for snow here, man. Like it's cold as balls right now. So
No, yeah.
have you guys been on tour?
Yeah.
Have you guys done a lengthy tour?
Well, since COVID, it has been difficult to do shows.
Of course.
And actually, one of our band members had a little injury, so it was difficult for us to do shows also. But the timing was good with the pandemic, so we took the time to record the our latest album that will come out in November, and we're
Yeah.
doing a show on November 18th in Montreal.
Oh, no way, man. Who's on stage with you? Who's all playing?
We're going to be playing with another prog band called Cassius. I guess in English it's called Carsius.
Oh, yeah. I got a message the other day about them. You should,
Oh, yeah?
check this band out. Yeah, man, that's cool that you say that. Like, as we were talking backstage, Montreal is exploding with music, man. You guys, you're probably 60% of the bands come from Montreal. The rest of them, a little out east, a lot of overseas, and down south. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah, there's a lot of cultural activity in Montreal. It's a very good musical place to live.
no, I've been up and been to Montreal. The first time I ever went was actually to interview Your Last Wish. I believe they were the second band I ever interviewed on the show. And I fell in love with the city, but I've been back I don't know how many times now,
Nice.
It's phenomenal. Other than your parking and the no lines on the road and shit, you just kind of guess where you are on the road, all right? It's pretty fucking cool place, man. Pretty nice. Inspiring, too. You guys got a lot of parks, a lot of art, right?
Yeah,
writing your music. Oh, sorry, man. Writing your music, do you just walk around and do you get inspiration from what's around you, or is it kind of just an internal, personal when it comes to your music?
Yeah, personally, well, actually, me and Olivier are the two main writers. And personally, I hear music in my head all the time. So whenever it's good, I write it down. If it's not good, I just let it go.
Yeah.
But we get our
I-
inspiration from other prog bands actually Dream Theater, Symphony X, also from jazz, more jazzmen like Tigran Amassian. I don't know if you know, but he's a great piano player. And we also have classical influences as well. Olivier's he's a trained violinist. He plays actually in orchestras and gigs for all around the province. So we're very interested in all the classical stuff from the good old age of music.
Yeah. When it was raw back then. Oh, go ahead, boss.
I wouldn't say we're inspired really with what's around us, but I think we're kind of getting inspired by everything we hear. So it's not really what we see, but everything we hear. And we're very open guys. We listen to a lot of music. We started listening to some electronic music also lately. So we have a very vast genre.
Yeah, whatever's good is good.
I've always, since I've started doing the show, the last little bit, everyone hears music different. Whether you like it or not, it's still in somebody's ears, somebody's mind, right? So to see that you guys go way back, just a lot of bands, it's Pantera, Slayer influenced us. No, you guys are like Bach, a lot of jazz, like Apocalyptica in that sense. It's not Dream Theater, which, oh man, they're an amazing band. Very underrated, like you said, very underrated, but yet still world renowned. You can go anywhere in any metal club and say Dream Theater, and people know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think there since we're musicians and we kind of like that kind of music. We like to like fast playing, and we like complex things, and so we kind of um, we get curious about those bands. So I guess Dream Theater is the first band that got us into that kind of music, and
Yeah.
it then went to maybe even complex artists like we said Tigran Amassian, or lately there's a really good band called Haken that's getting
Oh, yeah.
more and more known right now. We really like that one too.
No, it's amazing to hear all that. Like, even like local bands, like you said, you have the show coming up in November. A couple local bands on the bill too. Like, are you guys obviously world tour eventually? But like, are are you guys gonna start off just general, do like Montreal and shit, and then eventually branch out east, out west, come to Ontario, BC, all the
Yeah,
spots.
we'd love to. We've been to Toronto, Ottawa. We've been to
Mm,
Quebec City a couple times, I think. But yeah, we should do something bigger and more ambitious soon.
yeah. No, I hear you, right? Like we have small spots here in Ontario. We're booked for our first show, but our second show is still open. But it's only a 1 day gig, you know what I mean? Like have you guys come all the way down, play one gig, and then but it's a great time. We fly your food, your place to sleep, your breakfast in the morning. You get the jam, bit of cash in your pocket, right?
Mm.
But the crowd there would love you guys, man, 100%. I can't bring my death metal bands and shit like that, you know what I mean? But for you guys to be instrumental and there's no screaming involved, they would fucking fall in love with you guys instantly, man, for sure. We do a big show.
Yeah, we're kind of more accessible. Just have any vocals, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
screaming vocals get people off.
You almost can classify in that sense. Like you said, there. Sometimes as soon as the singer starts singing, people get turned off. Oh, that's too aggressive, just because of the way his voice comes off or the way they present it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you guys, you just have that music. Poof, it's nothing but straight up fucking music in that sense, right? Like it's the notes you hit, right?
Yeah, a lot of people tell me, well, your band is not really metal. Well, it is. It's just there's no screamer, there's no death metal singer in it, and people don't know what metal actually is.
Yeah, a
It's
good point,
it's
man.
more than just screaming.
Like you said there, people don't know what metal is. There's so many genres. Not even genres. Just people make up names for. Oh, that's prog. This is fucking slash. This is doom. This is death. You know, like no, man. It's all just fucking metal. Like it's music in that sense. When you
Yeah.
go to back to fucking Brock, and even Mozart was considered metal. Elvis Presley was metal at one time. You know what I mean? Like
mhm.
it's the
Yeah.
feelings you get.
I think metalheads also like to subgenre their music. I think they like to be part of like something small, but like because metal can be very large in general, and I think we like to yeah like make little groups out of every genre, and like
Mm,
making I don't know. It's like a gang, you know. Like there are death metal fans, and in Norway there are the black metal guys, and like
yeah, right.
each region kind of has its own and um,
It makes it feel more personal in that sense. You know, we have our big
yeah,
group
maybe.
worldwide where we all listen to metal, but I have this little group that we only listen to this metal or that metal or this band. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
but the best part is like I hit a festival. Like I've been through all the states, seen all the fucking shows in North America. Last year I got the privilege of going with Stone Daisies and them out of South Africa and going to Death Fest over there. And it was, a small group in the bar. It was packed still, but, even over there, the metal scene, they were all the same as I was being over here in the pit. It was the same thing over there, same rules. Everyone was fucking cool. Yeah. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, I remember I went to see a Blind Guardian show in Seattle, and it was exactly the same vibe as in Montreal. It was amazing.
Right? Like anywhere you go.
Yeah, it's the same rules, same like everybody acts the same, and if there's a trash, somebody goes down, you just stop, just get up. You're all right, and let's start again, and let's just rock the metal music.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like that everywhere in the world, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like people don't see that though. They just hear, like you said, the aggressive lyrics, the fast and heavy guitaring in that sense. To bring you guys in, which I would say metal, you have the electric, you're very heavy on the riffs, right? The violins even playing and stuff, the piano. But without the lyrics, I think anyone would listen to it and be like, whether they're a metalhead or not, like they're gonna like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. I really like the concepts and how you guys do your stuff.
Yeah, it's usually the comments that I hear from like I'm a physiotherapist, and some of my patients listen to our song, and most of them don't listen to metal, and they say, "Oh, it's pretty good. It's not my style of music, but I like it." So
Yeah.
and probably with a screaming singer, it would be a different story.
Oh, I mean, the first song I put on, I hear the riff of like, yeah, I'm just waiting for the singer to come in, and then it just carried me through. I'm like 3 minutes later, no one sang, didn't even notice in that sense. I'm like, oh, I'm just. And then the next song, I'm like, these guys are strictly instrumental, man. This is, and I just went through your whole playlist, like it was like nothing. Oh, this is awesome. Didn't even really phase me in that sense without the singer, and that's rare. It's very hard to do that with just instruments, right? Like,
yeah, that's what we try to do with the violin. I think the violin helps a lot because without any like if it's just guitars, keyboards, bass, and drums, we would get tired of even if the compositions are nice. I think at the end of after a few minutes, we would get tired of the
yeah. I think that instrumental music can be tiring or boring to some people because there's no we get so many instrumental bands now that are just guitar driven, and it's perfect if you like guitar, but if you like other things, then you kind of get bored because it's just guitar and it's just drums, and there's no really, if there's no vocal line. So I think the violin takes care of that part.
Yeah, no, it does. It carries it right through. It was very cool to actually hear it come in because I didn't know what to expect. Right, I'm up here working 7 days a week for the last 2 months almost. You know what I mean? So to get in off early and fucking jam out to your music, it was to hear the violin come in. I was like, oh, a little piece of home because back home, I'm actually from the States, like born in Canada, raised in the U.S., back and forth my whole life. Down there, violin, banjo, harmonica, right? And they hear on the song, like I said, Winter. All like the main thing is the violin in that song, and it was like, this is fucking awesome, right?
Thanks, man.
Now, do you guys have merch and CDs or anywhere where we can support you guys, buy your stuff?
The merch for the upcoming album is on its way. Where the CDs are in the manufacture stage
Yep.
phase. Everything will be available on bandcamp.com. So
No?
check our Sidemine Bandcamp page, and eventually the merch will be up there.
That's awesome, man. I hear good things about Bandcamp from everybody, and it seems to be the one to go to. I know you got Spotify, but you get pennies a fucking stream. You know, YouTube, you gotta have like 10 million views, right? So,
Yeah. Well, Spotify is still good for exposure.
Yeah.
But you're right. For payouts, it's we don't get a lot for
Looking for-
every listen, but
yeah, it's all about merch. I always say, like,
I think
you guys got shirts, tees. That's where it's at. We just got a shitload of merch just in. We'll have our post up and ready to go here by Monday, I believe. We got a bunch of shirts in, but that's where the support comes in. You go to the show, you buy the CD, you buy the T-shirt, and that's because obviously go to a studio and stuff to record, or is this all independent? Are you guys on your own for when it comes to hitting and making the CD itself, right?
well, for guitar, bass, and keyboard, we all recorded from home. But for violin, we actually need a good recording space for the sound to be optimal.
Mm-hmm.
And usually for drum, we do the same thing, but this time we decided to go with the Superior Drummer plugin, which is a great plugin for drums.
Nice.
For the upcoming album, and we actually did some reamping of the snare in a studio because we felt the snare wasn't live feel enough.
Mm-hmm.
Missing some resonance, so we went to a friend we know and we did reamping on the snare, which helped a lot.
So this is
also
not your first album, then, is it? Or like,
sorry,
you guys have music already, right? So I just hit play and let it go. It didn't tell me what album. I just let it go, right? So how many albums do you guys have in total, then?
We have two. There's one. Well, actually, we released an EP back in I don't know if it 2014. I think it was 2013. And let's say that one doesn't count.
Yeah.
Our first major release was our first album called Erosion. It was out 5 years ago, and since then we've worked hard. We actually made some little projects here and there. We made a video game soundtrack. We made a theater play soundtrack also, and now we're just releasing our second album this November.
So, what video game were you part of then?
It's an indie game called Navy Blue. I think you can still play it on the if you buy it on Steam. It was a platformer kind of platformer game like Mega Man, and it was really fun writing the soundtrack to that because we kind of had to do some like 80s, 90s rock music, video game music. So it was really.
No, that's awesome, man. I know, like for our October show, it's an 80s theme. It's Halloween, of course, right? And fucking, it's an 80s theme, so that's fucking pretty cool, man. I had to do some 80s rock for the game.
Nice.
I obviously, okay, the album comes out in November and stuff. Are you guys already have some tours booked or some dates where we can check you out live on the stage coming up? once the album's released, or
Yeah,
have
we
you
only
got
have
that?
a Montreal show on the 18th of November. We're
Mhm.
playing in the Théâtre Plaza Theater, which is on Saint-Hubert Street.
Yeah.
Really nice venue. It's the only show for now, but we're looking for maybe Quebec City, maybe in my hometown in Chambly,
Nice.
for a little bar that we know. But we're open to play pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, we miss playing
Anywhere-
live, and honestly, we're gonna take every opportunity we have to play live.
Yeah. I know next year, we're rearranging the dates because August 27th is not a good day for me. It's just not a good day. So, reorganizing the second show. Our first show, I'm pretty sure we have all the bands. Our second show, you guys want to come down just for the weekend, play Saturday night. We've got your food, your place to stay, everything's covered, bit of cash in your pocket. We'll talk more behind the scenes. You guys have Hollywood's email, right? So
Sure. Yeah.
either get a
Yeah.
hold of her and we'll probably put you on the list for that because we are looking. I like to plan a year and ahead, right? So
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Sounds great. I'd be down with that.
oh, that'd be sick, man. Fucking, I know a few other bands that are gonna come down from Montreal. I'm gonna have in for that one too. So we can all carpool in or fucking right?
We'll rent a whole train just to get there.
Right. I know I'm trying to make it a 2-day festival, but we're working on permits and all that shit, and so next year probably will still be the one nighter, but you can only squeeze one night, right? So I try to do 4 because they do games like we horseshoes and ring toss, all that shit during the day, drink it up, fucking eat food. Then the bands go on or whatever. Then we have the big bonfire at night, right? Next morning, bacon, eggs, hash browns, all the fixings, right? It's so fun.
Sounds great.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
making me hungry.
yeah, I know. I'm so hungry. We had we helped one of the guys I work with. We helped him move into his new place up here. All the guys are local, but me and Todd, right? And he was like, him and his wife had to cook us dinner tonight. So I was like, fuck, I got a show at 9:30, bud. Like, what time's dinner at? He's like 6. Like 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Do the math, right? What a great meal, man. It's the first real meal I've had in like fucking 2 months. Home cooked, it was like, yeah. So full. Like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep before the show now. Ate all that good stuff. But now I'm hungry again. So food wise, man, I love food. It's been a big staple of my life, and it's a big thing for me to sit down at a table and actually eat a meal. What are some of your favorite meals that you guys can actually like fucking dice up, like, and make?
Yeah, we actually do every year. We go. My mom has a place in PEI, and every time we go there, we pretty much once a year we go with the band, and we have like 5 or 6 meals already. We already know what we're gonna eat.
Yeah.
So all seafood pasta, lobster. We love a salmon tartare.
What? That's my favorite right there.
Yeah, our drummer makes a crazy salmon tartare.
Yeah, we have very good cooks in the band.
Yeah, it's fun when we're all together and we take the time to cook a good meal.
Well,
have a few
when
drinks.
you get on the road, you've got a little bit, I guess, but breaking bread is a big thing. Eating together, having that connection, and then making music is another huge connection for people in general around the world, right? Like,
yeah,
you can't.
We love to combine both.
So, next year, the show that's in the U.S. When you guys come and play that for October, that's the Halloween show, right? Another big part of that is the food and stuff that we cook for the bands and everything, right? So we go live. We're doing our first live international cooking show because we'll be across the border, so technically it's international, right? And we did a few when I was in South Africa, though. We did quite a few little cooking shows and go live while we were in the kitchen, right? But
Awesome.
oh, it's gonna be fantastic, man. So, any big shout outs?
Salmon.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, dude. Next year, like when you guys come, I'll make sure I barbecue salmon and shit. I'll do it in my little wee Alfredo sauce that I have, salt, pepper. Hey, you wait, bud. But to get to where you guys are, is there anybody you need to thank? Like personally, I gotta thank Hollywood for helping out behind the scenes. Obviously, you guys know her. She helps set up the calendar, the interviews, does the financing end of it, does the merch side. Basically, all I do is go on camera and drink beers. She does everything. All right. So, you know, obviously people like John Asher, huge. That's how we ended up meeting today. You know, and who do we got to give shout outs to tonight? Make sure those people get noticed too, because they're behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Nobody gets credit for that shit.
I mean, there's so many people who helped us along the way. Maybe I guess for this album in particular that we're releasing next month, there's been the guy who mixed the album. He's called Simon L'Espérance. He's actually the guitar player of the band Carcius, with which we're gonna play our show in November. So it's gonna be fun to share the stage with him. He's a very very cool guy, very hard worker, and he made our mix really like he wasn't afraid of putting the extra hours to make the mix really 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 good. So big thanks to him. Big thanks to also Tony Lindgren, which is a mastering engineer in Sweden. He's the one who mastered our album. He did an amazing job also. Aside from that, I guess just our families and friends, they are always there to support us.
Yeah. Speaking of Sweden, though, I got to give a big shout out to Pressure, who I just did a review of their new song. I can't play it or post it yet. It's all unreleased, but I will be having a written review of it here real soon. And it's fucking fantastic. They're out of Sweden, man. Fucking the first band ever I interviewed from Sweden. Like I've had a couple, right? Italy. We just had, fuck, they were fantastic, man. You guys got to check them out. From Israel. You would never think the metal scene in Israel, right? But the guy rhymed off 15 fucking bands we got to write down and reach out to and have on the show, and get their music out too, right? Like,
yeah, we actually know a couple bands from Israel. Actually, it's actually one of our favorite bands is called Hago, Hago, and they're from Israel, and they're pretty awesome.
Oh, we'll be checking that out. I always get Hollywood to write stuff down as the show goes on, right? So we'll be checking them out for sure, man. If we get them on, we'll get you on too, and then we'll cross pollinate. You'll get to actually meet them, shoot the shit with them for a minute. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I actually met the guy in Israel.
No way.
Yeah.
You traveled there? You meet him here in Canada, or?
No, I met him. I traveled there, and he was visiting his parents while I was there. So we met for a dinner one night. Was in his hometown.
Fuck, that's so cool, man.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
can't
I
say
love
he's my
traveling.
best
Next
friend
time,
now, but he's definitely on the friend side.
yeah. No, that's pretty cool, man. Fucking like people don't understand that. Like even like when I went to Cuba, I didn't go to the north in wherever the fuck it's called. I went to the southeast where it's the poorest part of fucking Cuba. Like they don't even have windows and shit. We helped pour fucking the dude's fucking foundation one time while I was there. Just fucking some of the guys on the resort that go all the time are like, let's go, we're going. You work construction? Come with us, bud. Next thing you know, I'm fucking handling pails of concrete and fucking doing hard labor again, you know. I'm supposed to be on vacation, motherfucker, but my sister who travels a lot too, but she always the resort person, right? So she's never left the resort and met the people. So she's like, I've been to Mexico. I'm like, no, I went to Mexico, motherfucker. I left my car in El Paso and walked to Mexico and got to know people and stayed for a few days. You went to a resort for less, like you know, the bar I was in, holes, man. Like I wasn't in no safety zone. You know what I mean? Like fucking, you meet the people, meet the culture, right? Like.
Yeah, that's the way to travel.
Yeah, like Ireland next year. I'm heading to my buddy Ren out of Ren and the Berserkers, heavy metal Viking band out of fucking Ireland. There, he's like, "Oh, I'll come for the whole month." I'm like, "Oh, 2 weeks." I'd love to come for a month. You know what I mean? But I do have to work and shit. So, do you guys fucking work full time or strictly music? Like, are you doing the grind and recording and music, or is it just so much music, you know, that's all you do now, right?
Yeah, we all have other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, well, I'm as I said, I'm a physio.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah,
only one working full time in music is Olivier, but he's not full time on the band.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day, but yeah, we all have all we all, and it's sometimes it's pretty hard to combine both the band and our jobs. But like right now, it's a really um, uh,
Going good.
it's a very we have to prepare everything for the release, and but it's always fun work, and there's always fun behind it. So I think that's the best part of it.
Yeah. No, I hear you because I work full time. I basically work to pay for my career because this is what I
Yeah,
figure I'll always do. This is my career right here, but it doesn't come free, you know. You got to pay for a lot of shit to do this or do music in general. You have your studio, like you said, merch. You got to pay for those shirts first. You got to pay to have the
yeah,
CD made first, right? Like, where does
and
that money come from? Right?
the minute you get interested also in like studio things, and like it's a so expensive world if you want to have the latest plugins, the latest
Oh,
amps.
yeah. My single there, it cost me $400 to produce one song. I only did one song. You know, I have a whole album, but I can't afford to fucking do it right now, right? So well, I'm gonna be collaborating with a bunch of people on it though, so they have access to their home studios and shit. And then all I got to do is just pay for the final. Like as you said, a lot of your stuff home recorded, and then poof, you go to the studio, get the other things kind of tweaked and done. It really cuts down on your cost that way, right? Like,
Yeah, I think it does, but it's still so expensive. You know, people I don't think people realize how much money there behind an album release. You know, it's not just about production; it's also about everything else
your
from
guitar,
marketing,
your
from
string,
equipment, yeah,
right?
everything.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I think if people could just realize that and not only listen to the band on Spotify and just assert that there's a lot of work done in what you what you hear, and like you said, just buy t-shirts, buy CDs, just buy, even if you don't listen, even if your car doesn't have any CD player in now, you should buy it, because
Yeah.
it's just encouraging the band.
Well, I've always preached that. Buy the T-shirts, buy the CDs, buy the tickets to the show. You know what I mean? Like, that's where the band's not making millions of dollars, man. These guys, even though they're rock stars, you're famous,
Yeah.
you just make the money, right? In that sense, people know you and shit, but you don't own your own tour plane like fucking Iron, like you didn't sell. Even when they started, even Guns N' Roses, huge example. They used to fucking share French fries from McDonald's because they were so poor. But everyone sees them as rock stars now. You know what I mean? Oh, they've always had. Well, no, they didn't, man.
Mm.
Let's do an interview in 20 years and see where we are then. Maybe we will be rock stars and paid for our music.
Well, we're gonna have you back actually remember for your album. I would love to have you guys back on, and we'll talk about the new album release. We'll see where you're at. You guys are out, right? So
Sorry, I didn't hear.
sorry,
There was a connection.
my internet probably cut up there for a second.
We didn't get anything.
Yeah, no, I would just repeat what I said because I can't. No, it was fun. But is there any like when now and again anywhere or any fantasy concert you could ever play? I've had answers from the Death Star to playing on in the fucking Villa for the Hobbit. Where you guys have you good?
I'm sorry, man. Your connection is really not good.
Like,
Yeah, you'll have to repeat that because connection is shitty right now.
would be the ultimate stage dream show, you know?
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
You want me to interview you, Oliver?
Sure, let's go on.
I think he meant what show we would. What's
Yeah,
an ideal show for us?
I got the first half of his question. What would be our fantasy show? I think.
I guess anywhere, any festival in Northern Europe would be awesome.
I agree. Yeah. I personally have a soft spot for Albert Hall in London.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Any nice concert hall would be a great place to play anywhere in the world.
Yeah. As for bands, I think I think my favorite band I would like to play with would be Haken.
I'm back, baby.
We
All right.
we did the interview by ourselves. We don't really need you.
Thank you so much. I'm just super right.
We didn't really hear your question, but we think we heard it right. I think you said that which what would be our fantasy show, an ideal place for us to play. So we answered that to your.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, man. I'll
But
watch it. We
you'll
don't have
never know the answer.
yeah.
Yeah, you,
No way. Thank you guys for keep rambling because I'm at the but on the road, right? Show must go on. What are some of the struggles per se? The shit that happens on the road that you're not looking forward to when you go on tour. Drugs and rock.
I didn't hear the whole thing, but I think I got the main the main thing. You meant if anything ever happened to us on tour. Um, I don't know, Kev. Is did something happen?
Not really. I think the main problem we I had was that when we started a song that I was playing with no distortion and no guitar sound for like
Yeah,
15
yeah,
seconds. It was an error on my part, but that's the only issue we had, I believe.
yeah. We did some have sound issues on stage, but no, we never had any problems on the road or um, getting late to a show or nothing yet. Let's hope it stays like that.
I think he's frozen again.
Yeah, he's I think his name is TJ actually, right?
I guess it makes sense.
So just got out.
I hope it doesn't happen often.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch his live show often if something like that happened every time. But I think he says um, he's on the road right now, so he's
Yeah,
not
he's
home.
using a shitty Wi-Fi from the hotel. So
Yeah, is your Wi-Fi good, Kevin? Do you have a
mine
do you find your Wi-Fi is it good?
better than TJ's.
Like, do you have Wi-Fi your in your second floor, or does it
Everywhere in
get
the
there?
house. Everywhere in the house.
Wow. That's a, that's a good connection.
So what do we do now? Oh, there he is. I guess he went to Tim Horton next to the hotel, which has a better internet connection.